You know, this is my actual first time I've smoked in my whole life. I knew the risks, and yet, even before turning into a vampire, I wanted to try one out. Even if I'm like this, I will still lose blood quicker since it keeps regenerating the lungs and other affected areas. Man, I was rather worried about my transformation, but after some weeks, I got used to it. Plus, I'm quite happy with my new powers.
I shouldn't have turned you into a vampire. I'd rather see my loved one die of age than grant them immortality.
Commitment issues, huh?
No, it's not that. There are two reasons why. First is that you might get dangerously obsessed. If you either drink too much blood or lose enough of what you've sucked to live, you will turn crazy. And if you love someone who turned you into a vampire, you'll become more obsessed with them at extreme levels, and vice versa.
You mean we'll become yandere bitches if we don't drink enough blood?
Exactly. And I'm afraid of that, so I hope you don't stoop that low, okay?
I bet one of my girlfriends the other day. Luckily, she didn't become a vampire.
Second is the fact that I don't want to continue my bloodline. My father was a ruthless leader of the Burgundy clan, wanting to eradicate every vampire outside of his bloodline, well known for the blood red eyes, and make the underworld in his image. I'm one of the only members alive after a war broke out between another faction 50 years ago. While they respected me, I became a loner, moving away from the violence and genocide. I've never turned anyone into a vampire ever since the war ended. Until I met you. Again, I'm sorry for turning you into the way you are now.
I could have died after the mugging. You had no choice but to bite me.
I should have stopped at the blowjob behind the bar, but I also have feelings for you. It's just that I wanted to have a human soulmate that I can live with till their death.
Look, it's okay. It's okay to give up your relationship with me.
No. I love you.
I love you too.
You remind me a lot of Heather Poe when she wears all dark. If your eyes were more greener, I couldn't tell the difference.
If you looked more human, I'd confuse you with Leon Kennedy. I wish I had more time with you for tonight, but I have to go. And thanks for the blood.
Never heard that before.
It's always the right time to talk about Resident Evil 2, and don't ask why I'm wearing a tube top now. Remember Resident Evil?
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Yeah, let's not hit around the bush here. Despite its many flaws, it was an engaging game that keeps you on your toes while confronting zombies and mutants. It's just that I didn't review it properly. I only did most of Jill's side and didn't bother talking about Chris's run-in with Rebecca. But let's not talk about it again, or the remake, or that piece of cellular that I somehow have. I wish Sony wouldn't beat me up with copyright strikes. I'm here to talk about the sequel. I wasn't gonna talk about it. This last part of my Out Pain review wasn't meant to be a hint for the next episode. I'm not even reviewing Resident 6 yet, but due to the difficulties playing other games that I want to review this month, I have decided to just take a look at this and get it over with. Apparently RE2 was gonna be different from what we got. This version, known as Resident Evil 1.5, was similar but with some major changes, most notably Elsa Walker. It was scrapped due to dissatisfaction from the developers, deeming it too boring. I know, right? The product placement was gonna be so-so, was it? And so I got restarted by two roughly written scripts, one by Super Sentai writer Noboru Sugimura and another by Hideki Kamiya, who became the director. I'm pretty sure he banned me by now. Despite creative differences, eventually some ideas from both scripts were added to the game, like Elsa becoming Claire Redfield, and the game got released on January 98. Odd for a gem to be released on dumping season. Originally a PS1 game, it was then ported to the PC twice, Dreamcast, GameCube, and surprisingly the Nintendo 64, with both Claire's and Leon's campaigns and FFV cutscenes crammed into a 64MB cartridge. Who handled this anyway? Angel Studios? That Rockstar San Diego? It was also on the GameCube, but fuck that abomination. Anyway, I'll be playing the PS1 DualShock version, which has some extra goodies, and thankfully doesn't have a butcher soundtrack. The game contains scenes of explicit gore and violence. This disclaimer screen is one of the most iconic things the series, and even the genre at some point in time, is known for, as memorable as the GT1 disclaimer. I'm a gearhead. I just hope this doesn't make me jump too much. Ah! As nostalgic as it is, fuck. The PlayStation original and Dreamcast port are divided into 2 discs. We have ourselves a Gran Turismo 2 situation here. Disc 1 is Leon's side and Disc 2 is Claire's side. Now let's not do the same mistake as last time and review both discs.
Resident Evil 2.
The game starts 2 months after the Arklay Mountains incident, with Leon, a rookie cop on his first day, noticing a corpse on the road.
What have we got here?
Need another light there, Leon? Meanwhile, Claire arrives at Raccoon City, sounds lovely, to find her brother Chris. As Leon's about to check the body and Claire enters the diner, they both get attacked by zombies and the 2 meet. So they head to the police station only to be attacked by someone on the back of the car. They crash and notice the truck coming towards them.
That guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
They separate enough to reach the police station alone. Although, unlike in RE1 with the protagonist head to the mansion in the cutscene, here you play as the protag mad dashing their way to the station after the crash, all while zombies attack you. The controls are identical to the first game. It's the same old pleasant smell of tank controls, up to go forward and left or right to turn much like a car. While you can use the left stick, it's best to use the D-pad. It doesn't even make you run when you tilt the stick fully, you still have to hold square. And since this isn't Left 4 Dead, you can't run and shoot. You have to stop, aim, and shoot at someone. Just don't do it when you get to the station, please. I learned it the hard way. Then again, now it's figured out the controls. You're gonna have a hard time avoiding zombies with this scheme. A few zombies are fine, but when there can now be more of them visible in an area, unless you have a shotgun, it's best to go back to a safe area. Too bad there's no quick turn, so you have to slowly turn around. Hell, the pre-rendered background to the static shots ain't helping matters, especially in bosses. More on that later. What's nice is that you don't need to pause the game to check your health. If your character is limping, it's just a sure sign that you'll die in one zombie bite. So we've reached the police station that used to be our museum. Raccoon City really is weird, huh? You meet up with this guy telling you about Umbrella causing the whole thing and tells you to find more survivors around the place.
Take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
A bit trigger happy there, sir? And so you start exploring the station, finding puzzles and encountering enemies, like the liquor here. You're not Sam Beckett, so you won't escape from that very easily. It's best to avoid most of the enemies. The lickers are blind, so you can actually pass them without having them notice you. I tried. The game seems to like jump scares. You get the usual stuff like jump scares accompanied by a musical sting, but you witness lickers going off the off-screen ceiling without it, and it's more effective that way. The game acts like a point-and-click game when it comes to finding stuff and solving puzzles. Hell, it can shake on things to use items for particular places. Speaking of which, Leon starts with a lighter to burn stuff like chimneys, while Claire starts with a lockpick to open small cubies and broken locks, meaning that you have to find the lighter to solve this one puzzle in the press room. In Resin 1, Jill was considered the easy one since at the cost of max health, she carries 8 items instead of 6, and gets a lockpick from Barry. Here, while they both carry the same amount, 8, and you can expand it to 10 with a pouch you find at a weapons locker, Leon is actually considered the easy one. His lighter doesn't take up space in the inventory, so it's more convenient. Otherwise, you just put it in the universal item box when you're done with it for a while as Claire. Wait, this room layout looks similar to that room. I wonder... Ah, it has a save room. Yeah, the police station is pretty much like the mansion, except you won't be here for as long as the previous game, no return to it. And I like this approach. Instead of just like RE1, you have to find increments so that you can use typewriters in save rooms. It's best if you don't waste them very early, despite not doing so giving you anxiety. Ah shit, I haven't saved in a while. If I die, I lose all my progress. Ah, thank God. Glad most ribbons are right next to the typewriters. As for weapons, Leon will find a shotgun, a better handgun, a machine gun, and a flamethrower throughout its playthrough. While they're very useful, you can't find ammo for the latter two, so if one of them reaches 0%, it's donezo. Shotguns are very good for shooting zombie heads by aiming up on a D-pad. You just have to be close to them. A Deagle, or Magnum in this case, is a good alternative. A clip has more ammo than a shell box, and you don't need to get near them, though a chance for a headshot is 50-50. Plus, you can find parts to upgrade your weapon. Claire, on the other hand, will find a dart gun and a grenade launcher, which can take different types of rounds: explosive, flame, and acid. While I like the dart gun, I wish the ammo count wasn't that misleading. Oh shoot, 18 darts? And it can take a zombie down in one hit? Oh, wait, it fires 3 shots at once. So it basically carries 6 darts before reloading, huh? Regardless, you'll find more ammo in this game than in the first game, making this a little bit easier, but then again, they can have more zombies in an area, so it makes sense. Leon goes to the STAR's office and finds a diary from Chris, saying that he went to Europe to take down Umbrella's European division. Claire then comes in and he gives her the truth. Do note that when playing as her, Leon doesn't come in when you read the diary. Instead, as you're about to leave, the fax machine prints a message to Chris: "What the hell is this crap? Who's doing this during your local zombie apocalypse? Furthermore, why were the police preparing a welcome party for Leon during the apocalypse? RPD has some skewed priorities, man. Also, where's the bathroom?" After finding the right keys, Leon heads to the basement and parking lot only to get a missed shot from a woman. Her name is Ada Wong. She's looking for Ben.
I'm looking for some guy named Ben. He's one of those reporter types, always looking for a scoop.
They push the police van and Leon notices that she doesn't like the word wait.
Ada, wait!
They let her find Ben and won't leave until the zombies or that roaring monster are gone. Ada tells them that she's trying to find her boyfriend John, who's probably in the city. Meanwhile, Claire finds a girl roaming around the station. After hearing a scream and blowing up this part with C4, you meet this creepy ass, Chief Irons, who killed the mayor's daughter because she was infected, he swore. Anyways, Claire then finds a girl named Sherry Birkin. $10 if she's gonna get retconned to death. Until the incident, she lived most of her life alone due to her parents working, and she's worried about her dad missing. After reaching the storage room part of the sewage plant, you get to play as a different character, either Ada or Sherry depending on the disc, to find a key to unlock more doors, plus some ammo. After finding some plugs or stones depending on the character, you notice some roaring as some thing feeds an embryo to Ben or Irons. As you reach those characters, it turns out Irons is a corrupt dickhead that Umbrella gives bribe money to, and also a serial killer. But the embryo comes out of them, killing them in the process. And so you get your first boss encounter with this creature, which likes to vomit these parasites that attack you. As Claire, it's pretty easy, what with her grenade launcher and all. But as Leon? Man, I don't like this at all. I have to shoot the thing while also shooting the parasites, and they are very annoying. And you die very easily. Yeah, I've cheated as Leon, so my playthrough as him doesn't count or something. Doesn't matter, the game is more fun when you're not confronting bosses. After defeating this thing, Leon progresses to the sewers and finds Ada.
What was that all about? Running off like that was reckless and stupid. Those zombies are everywhere. Not to mention that thing that got Ben.
I was there, Leon. I know.
Leon, you're such a dork.
Man, why doesn't anyone ever listen to me?
So he teams up with Ada, but notices a woman shooting her. So Leon saves her but gets shot in the crossfire, and Ada follows her. She meets Annette, William's wife. She tells her about the G-Files and how Bill got turned into an abomination. And then notices that Ada's a spy for a rival company trying to get a sample of it. She gets knocked out and falls. Of note, when playing as Claire, she gets as if she's a spy as well, and tells more about the G-Virus, and how it works well for blood relatives like Sherry. And speaking of which, Sherry gets sucked in and you play as her for a bit. After she finds a medallion in the dump, she falls and gets unconscious, only for William to approach her and... They both hear her scream and Annette runs to find her. The two protagonists find their sidekicks and then a giant alligator appears. That's a thing. Wait for them to bite the character and shoot it. Let us never speak of it again. So after Ada patches him up, or at least patching his clothes for some reason, Leon must go to the factory with her, and she's quite capable, assisting you in killing zombies. And as for Claire's scenario, she goes with the kid. Since she isn't raising sick Sherry, she can't defend herself from the zombie puking, so it's best to avoid them and the Cerberuses while playing as her. Now, when playing as Claire, you have to move on with her after defeating the alligator, so you have to protect her. And since she's a kid, don't run when you're with her because she runs slower than you. And if you go too far, she just stops, all scared. This truly is a speedrunner's nightmare. If that happens, you just might go, Sherry, I don't want you to grow up as a shitty AI partner, so stop being annoying and get moving! Ironic that she's played by the same girl who voiced Wanda for the Magic School Bus. I would say she's a Weasley wimp, but after what she witnessed, she really needs to catch a break. Speaking of which, what bugs me the most is that despite being a 12-year-old, she sounds younger than that. That's it, I don't have any joke for that. What I don't like about the sewer section is this part. In a police station, you find this valve that you must use to pour water over the burning helicopter, and you think it's gonna be discarded afterwards as a first-time player, but no, it stays there. I thought, what even is the point of it? And then I reached this part where I must bring the valve with me to lower or raise the bridge. This thing is taking up space, and 10 of them isn't enough apparently. Not to mention how many times I keep coming back here, shuffling up and down to pick up metals to open this door. It's pretty much like the crank from Resident 1. Thankfully, this is the last time I use it, and I'm glad the spires are under-reused here. After going to the other side by cable train and witnessing Belle attacking you when playing as Leon, you reach the factory area. Claire doesn't witness him, the game just skips that. Seems like a good time than ever to talk about the presentation. Just like the first game, it's still the same old deal. Pre-rendered backgrounds for 3D objects placed not so subtly, and the game having to hang for a split second to load another background position. While it's decent, it can be frustrating when you're in an area with zombies and this screen doesn't show them until they walk in or you walk into a screen change. And I just couldn't stand the loading chips doing cutscenes.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
You're not helping! Can be frustrating when shooting at them, but not by much. It's the bosses that are a bitch, like this fight with a transport G-Bill at the train elevator. Oh, hello there. While I like the disgusting morphing the PlayStation can handle, the camera likes to get behind them, making it hard to aim at Bill. Jeez, I almost died because of the fixed cameras and now I can't dodge his telegraph attacks well. This only gets worse by the final boss of the first scenario. The 3D models have their charm though. The animations look similar to the predecessor, and the blockiness of the static expressions amuses me. I just wish there's more than one female zombie model. What I like more is that you can fast forward the text faster, and the items in the inventory are not just static images instead of spinning models. The voice acting has been improved from the likes of Paul Haddad, Alison Court, Sally Cahill, the aforementioned Alicia Yamanaka, Jennifer Dale, no not Hall, Dale, and others. They all did a great decent job, although you notice that it's more Canadian when you hear how the characters say sorry.
Ooh. Sorry about that, babe.
Doctor, we're here to collect the G-Virus sample.
Sorry, but I won't just hand over my life's work.
I didn't know Raccoon City was in Canada. Wait, it's a Midwestern town in the US? Seems vague, but I didn't know it had an abundance of Canadian immigrants. I mean, they don't sound Canadian at times, they can say about like an American, but still. The FFP cutscenes look dated, but they are smooth to say the least. It's just that the models there creep me out a bit, especially Sherry. She got better. Sometimes their lips don't sync with what the actors say, or don't even move at all.
What could have done this? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield.
The music is very iconic for a good reason. It sounds really great, and despite hearing it multiple times, you'll never get tired of them. The foreboding sounds of the police station, the lab, the tender relief from the state rooms and Ada's theme, the action-packed beats from Will's boss fights, and the lab's self-destruction, hell, even like Sherry's theme, giving Claire a sense of hope. It's just that memorable. There isn't a piece that I really don't like. Well, except for the jumpscare tracks, but that's about it. So after that boss battle, reach the lab and carry a wounded Ada or infected Sherry to safety, and tell them they'll find something to heal them. So you go roaming around this secret lab, finding answers about Umbrella, and witnessing darker liquors and the poisonous ivies. Trying to get a good aim while they shoot poison at you is really difficult, but it's possible to do so and just flame them. I never seem to get this thing working. I need to get 2 different fingerprints to open this door, but I'm the only one here and I can't carry my partner with me. It may seem pointless since I finished the game 3 different times. I never played Claire's beat scenario, but I'm sure this is used when playing as her. Playing as Leon, you witness Annette pointing a gun at you, telling you that Ada's a spy and you think she's lying. Then as the lad rumbles to do something somewhere in the lab during B scenario, she gets her head banged by a pipe and the self-destruct sequence has been activated.
This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
As Leon gets to the bottom level, Ada comes in, demanding him to give her the G-Virus. She's about to shoot him, but she just couldn't. He's too nice for her. And then she gets shot by a net that is about to fall. Leon tries his hardest to save her, but she tells him to let her go.
I really wanted to escape with you, Leon. Escape from everything.
Man, screw the virus, throw that out of the way. This is not canon apparently. Meanwhile, in Claire's campaign, she does the same until Annette points her gun at her after leaving a lab room. Then she gets attacked by Bill, and she gives Claire instruction on how to make the vaccine for Sherry. As the lab self-destructs, take your time, she makes the vaccine and tells Leon to carry Sherry with him to the train. And now the escape. 5 minutes remain, you activate the elevator, and this is now the final boss to Billy G, all protect and shit. God, I hate this one. This form is bearable, but it's the 4-legged spiky mouth form that pisses me off. Coupled with the camera angles, this is rather hard to beat. It is possible, but with tank controls, I just couldn't avoid its attacks, especially this insta-kill one. I told myself not to give up. I have to do it legitimately so that no pissed off gamer invalidates this review, but I just couldn't. I gave up on this part with the container loading glitch in Vampire Bloodlines, and I give up on Symphony of the Night because I suck this badly. So I can't afford to change another game for this month, so I've decided that I'm cheating. Sorry. After defeating G again, you head to the elevator and reach down to the moving train.
Hurry up! Leon! Leon!
Stay down!
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
They barely made it, and the game is finally over.
No. I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
At least when playing the A scenario. Yep, this game has something called Zapping mode, where you play that other character's B scenario, with different paths, enemies, bosses, and stuff the other character activated in their A scenario. For instance, this control panel breaks and the shutters open in the first floor corridor if a scenario character activated them, and instead of confronting this, you fight against Bill here with a pipe. Yo, is that a DeLorean? Oh, and this big fuck shows up. This is T-103, aka Mr. X, a slow-moving behemoth who is quite strong and quite hard to avoid when in tight corridors. He shows up 3 times at the precinct and a few more at the Umbrella Labs. Gunning him down will drop some ammo for you, so there is some reward. Glad he's slow and isn't carrying a rocket launcher. Playing the B scenario is the best way to get the complete story, like for instance Leon's B campaign where Ada steals Sherry's pendant, which contains a sample of the G-Virus, and Leon and Ada having a dying moment of love after putting eggs to the melting pot. Only to be ruined by Leon screaming, Ada! Oh god.
Damn. McBain.
Yes?
I'm not gonna make it.
Oh, stop talking crazy.
No. Just do one thing for me. Get Mendoza.
Mendoza!
After carrying Sherry to the train, you're about to activate it, but then Mr. X shows up, all pumped and shit, and he's the boss before the train escape. Now that is something to be feared of, because he's a fat asshole, and all you'd have to do is wait for Ada to show up and drop the rocket launcher. Also Ada survived that, don't know how, but he's just too nimble to avoid, and so I have to use cheats again. I'm the Iron Gamer now.
Game over.
And so Leon gets to the train and leaves with Claire, only for the game to give you a fake out ending final boss with the final form of Billy G as it slowly approaches you. I would be scared, but you know. Oh. Don't worry, he just dies down after a minute of reaching you. But not for long. As he approaches them, they do their desperate attempt at stopping the train and escape. After that crowd, the three survivors leave the train from exploding, and Willem is very much dead this time. And so they've escaped the Umbrella Labs and notably the city. Claire went to Europe to find his brother, and they lived happily ever after. Sherry got taken by the government due to her mutation along with Leon, and Claire had a hard time at Rockford Island after being captured when trying to find Chris. Was that saying too much? At least Leon got a sick job as a snarky government agent, and the lives of these two did get better. Well, sort of. Well, at least we get a kick-ass alternate credit film.
We have to go. We don't have any time to waste.
Go? Where?
Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella.
So that was Resident Evil 2. Honestly, I quite enjoyed it a lot better than the first game. It isn't as bullshitty when it comes to exploration and puzzles, the cast and locations are very memorable, as well as the music, and the replay value is really great with the beast scenarios. You can even unlock weapons with infinite ammo and extra game modes if you're good enough. Like, this good, Jesus. A range mode is basically the former part already unlocked if you own the DualShock version, at least the rookie one. Survival horror my ass! Then there's Fourth Survivor where you must get to the extraction point as Hunk, plus Tofu Survivor, and Extreme Battle, exclusive to the DualShock version, which is like that, only you play as different characters going from the labs to the police station to find some bombs or something. And if you finish the Beast scenario, you can meet up Zombie Brad in the A scenario and kill him to get a locker key if you reach the station without getting any items. That way you can get alternate cutscenes for the pro tags. Overall, it's really great. It gets you so hooked as much as the other games. I never played the remake, so I can't make a comparison other than the original has cleaner language. You know what? I'm stoked about playing more Resi games. In fact, I cannot wait to review Resi 3 sometime later. Oh, no.